The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by hosts and guests on this podcast are their own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of UCLA Athletics or UCLA Gymnastics. The content of this podcast is strictly for informational purposes only and should not be considered professional advice.
UCLA definitely has the same beliefs and values. I feel like standing up for people, being this big family, letting people express themselves for who they are. And I really, really love that. And that's one thing that definitely stood out to me. And that's really the main reason that I felt like this place would be a great fit.
Welcome to the Bruins on Deck edition of the Resilience to Brilliance podcast, where you'll be inspired by riveting behind-the-scenes stories from current members of UCLA Gymnastics. I'm your host, Kim Hamilton Anthony. Here we go. Nya Reed is a 6-time All-American who to date has scored 2 perfect 10s on floor exercise as a collegiate gymnast. A super senior, Nya took 1 year off from gymnastics, and instead of going back to the SEC, she decided to finish her career at UCLA. And she stole the hearts of millions when her preseason debut of her floor routine went viral. Nya is a powerhouse for the Bruins, and from watching her interact with the team, you would think that she's been a Bruin for years. Well, the two of us sat down for what I felt was a refreshing conversation where I learned who she desires to impact with her career. Let's listen. Hey, Nya, welcome to Resilience to Brilliance. How are you today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me, Kim. I'm really excited.
Oh, I'm excited to have you here. Now, let's jump right into your resilience story. Now, there's tons of articles out there about you, and anyone who follows your career has heard this story, but I would like us to dive into it a little deeper, if that's okay with you.
Yes.
Well, you were a standout at the University of Florida and a 6-time All-American, yes. But then you decided to press the pause button for a year. Share with me what led to you taking that break in 2023.
Yes, so definitely I wanted to focus on my mental health and really become a better person, but also, trying to figure out myself through therapy, trying to figure out myself, the woman that I want to become for my future, focusing on my schooling. I really want to become a physician's assistant. And I feel like as an African American woman, we need to see more of us in those spaces. So I really wanted to hone in on my academics, but also taking care of my mental health as a big time athlete, as someone who, wanted to prioritize themselves and put themselves first. I feel like I wanted to make that effort and really, apply it to myself. So when the time comes when I'm done with gymnastics, I would be able to know myself and know how to handle the struggles of being an adult, the struggles of being a woman, and how to just manage that. And I wouldn't have, have that confusion and that hardship of trying to figure out who I am. So that's what I did over, my break of taking a pause from gymnastics. So I'm really thankful for it.
Oh, you know what? A lot of people may not take the risk to pause life, especially when they're at your level and things are just moving. You're successful in your sport. How did you know that a break was what you need? You don't have to get into the specifics of what happened, but I would love to know, what were you feeling that made you say, you know what, I just need to pause for a minute?
Yes. I feel like I just knew with schooling, I feel like I wasn't giving it my full 100%. And this idea of being student athlete first is what I really wanted to hone into, just because of the route and the career path that I really wanted to go into. I feel like I wasn't giving it my all. And it's something that I'm extremely dedicated to, and I want to be able to achieve. It's such a big goal for me to be able to be up there. And, I always say that I want little Black girls to look at me and say, wow, she did it and she accomplished it and I can do that and even more. So I really wanted to do it for myself. And and just, I needed to, become a better person and a better teammate, a better individual, just to be able to accomplish my goals outside of the college gymnastics world.
What is the biggest thing that you learned about yourself, Nya?
I would say how to take care of myself. I feel like I didn't know any of my hobbies. I didn't know who I was outside of my gymnastics career. And that's kind of something that really took me back because, I'm starting to take these bigger classes and I'm going to class and the first day of class is you start to warm up. The professor wants you to warm up. So he asks these, pop questions or whatever, popcorn questions. And I always got the question of, what are your hobbies? And I would never know what to say because I didn't want to say gymnastics because that's just not the only thing I am. And I knew that, but I didn't know the things that I liked and the things that I loved to do. And so, that was something that really drew me back. And I was like, I really need to figure out who I am outside of my sport. And over that year, I really figured out who I am. I pledged a sorority. I, figured out that I like to video and photograph my life. I like to hang out with my friends. I love shopping. I love to explore the world. I love traveling the world and, trying different foods and things like that. So I really tapped into Nya and not Gymnast.Nya, me for who I am and, just trying to figure out, who I am, how I want my relationships to go, friendships, family friendships, things like that. So I really got time to figure out who I am as a person. And that's why I feel like I cherish myself so much. And I hold myself to this high standard because I've done so much work to be able to become this person. And yeah, I don't want anything to take that away from me because I've just put in so much work. So definitely feel like it's okay to take some time to reflect on yourself and to do the things that you need to do to be able to be a better individual for you for the long run.
That is such a wise lesson to learn so early in your life because I know women in their 50s who haven't taken the time to figure out what they really love and who they really are because they've gotten into the routine of things. For a gymnast, of course, it's pretty much your life because of the intensity of the sport. And I'm happy to hear that you were able to take a step back and find out who you truly are.
Yes, me too. Me too.
What do you think might have happened had you not stepped back?
I definitely feel like I probably would have still struggled mentally. Mm-hmm. I probably would have felt like therapy was weird still and like uncomfortable. And definitely would have been, I always lean on my family and my friends back home for sure. So I definitely would have still been leaning on them, but definitely being away from home, being far away from home is hard. So I feel like I might have struggled a little bit more as well. But all in all, like I was led in the right pathway and my mom and my family stood 10 toes behind me, and I really appreciate that. So now I'm here to say, like, there's nothing wrong with therapy. People who your life doesn't have to be in shambles for you to go to therapy. I talk to my therapist about the amazing things that happen in my life, and I talk to her when I'm happy. And, it's just someone just catching up and just someone to talk to, making sure your life is just, there. And, if you need help or assistance, they can assist you the best way they possibly can. So, yeah, that's my take on it.
Do you think that the view of therapists in the Black community is different than other communities?
I for sure do. I feel like as African American people, we're taught that we're so strong and we have to deal with things and just to, bite the bullet and just, let it be and just deal with stuff. And I'm fortunate enough that my family's not like that. They were like, hey, like, it's okay to get help. It's okay to need help.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with it, and we're always going to support you. But I don't feel like that's how every single family is in our community, unfortunately. And I wish we would move away from that stigma because, you do need help. You don't have to be the strong Black woman or the strong Black man to deal with everything. You need guidance, you need friends, you need family to lean on. You need at least somebody. You can't go through life by yourself. It's life is extremely hard, and there's so many stressors that tie into life and make it a little bit complicated. So I definitely do feel like the Black community, we definitely need to push more of it's okay to have help, and it's okay to have lows, and that's okay, and you're going to get through them. So yeah,
It's a part of life. And we
exactly.
need each other. We were built for relationships, and it's okay to say, hey, help me out, when your back's against the wall.
For sure.
Such wisdom, Nya. Now, when you took your break, did you plan on coming back to gymnastics, or was that it for you?
So it was definitely a long thought, a lot of thinking. But I felt like I got to a point where I was like, I'm not finished. Like, I feel like there's a little bit more out of me. And I felt like that because I had thought of a lot of little girls. And I was like, I just feel like I should finish out like on a strong note. I shouldn't let anything tear me away from my sport or tear me away from what I love to do, which is to go out there and perform. And I felt like, like I wasn't done, and I had a little bit more in me. So definitely was excited to come back and, start a new journey with a new family. And I was really excited for it. Once I, 100% went for it, and I was like, get my, go and get my master's and just, have fun with schooling. You can get me closer to schooling, but also, end on a good note, end with an amazing family and amazing people to, uplift me.
Why did you choose UCLA out of all of the places that you could have gone?
Yeah, I love this question. So of course, in the gymnastics world, UCLA has been in the forefront of so many things, so many platforms, and I really am intact with my beliefs and values, and I stand 100% with them no matter what. That goes to, my family, my friends, NIL deals that I might receive. They definitely have to align with my beliefs and values, and I really hold that dear to my heart. And UCLA definitely has the same beliefs and values. I feel like standing up for people, being this big family, letting people express themselves for who they are. And I really, really love that. And that's one thing that definitely stood out to me. And that's really the main reason that I felt like this place would be a great fit. I was fortunate enough to be able to get an official visit to come out and, see the campus, meet the team, meet the coaches, and I just had, a ball of fun. I mean, they were so real here. The love was real. I felt like I could be myself. And even though it was further than where I was originally, I definitely feel at home here. Less homesick. Definitely feel the love and the support from not only my teammates and coaches, but alum like yourself. And it's just been an amazing ride. And I'm 100% happy that I chose to go here.
Ah, I'm 100% happy that you chose to go to UCLA as well. We are so happy to have you as a part of the family. I
Thank you.
must say that. Now, we talk about the resilience that you showed by choosing to take a step back. You paused. But there was also an opportunity for you to show resilience when you went to UCLA and tried to get back into gymnastic shape, which is no small task. I mean, you step away from gymnastics for a week, you feel it. For a year, oh my goodness, what was that like for you?
So, I mean, it was something that was truly a challenge for sure. And I feel like UCLA has this, standard that, everyone meets. And it's incredibly hard, and it's at a high standard, which I love because I've always wanted to be a part of a gymnastics team that's going to push me to be the best athlete that I possibly can become. And let me tell you, I definitely felt it. Definitely felt it here. I would say gymnastics wise, um, mentally I'm there. I'm very confident in my capabilities with gymnastics. But I would say like the strength strength and conditioning was extremely hard. I mean, my chest was on fire many days. There was days that I felt like I was going to pass out. There was days that it was hard. It definitely was hard. And, the struggles of, like you said, coming back off of, not doing gymnastics for an entire year, your body, yes, becomes it gets, it goes through ups and downs. And I'm old. I feel like I'm old doing my sport. So I definitely feel like, I feel the aches and pains, but
Mm-hmm.
having a team that pushes you to a point where you feel like you can't go anymore and they're like, no, I see it in you that you can go more. I feel like experiencing that was just worthwhile, and I wish everybody is able to experience that on a team because it allows you to tap into a different type of athlete. It's grit, it's determination. It made me feel like, I'm not the only one who wants this for myself. I can see my coaches want it for me, and they're not taking the easy way out when it comes to me, but also to be surrounded by teammates who you just met, who have only seen you on television or seen your name in the media, and they know your story, and they're like, hey, you told me that when you first got here, this was your goal. So you're on my team now, and we're going to meet that goal. And they were so serious about it. And even to this day, they come to me and be like, this was your goal. Your goal was to do this, 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 and this. And we're almost there. We are almost there. So
Mm.
don't take the foot off the gas. Keep pushing. And they're like, I got your back no matter what. No matter if it's a bad routine or no matter if it's a good routine. The bad routines make the better routines sweet. So, and they definitely instilled in me that your fails or your struggles in the gym literally lead up to the wins, the big wins, and the big accolades and things like that. You learn from your mistakes and you become a better athlete. So having that was something that was surreal, and I'm so happy that I got to experience it before my career is over. And I wish that on everybody for sure.
It's interesting hearing you talk about that. Like it's your first time truly experiencing what a team is supposed to be about. And it didn't take long for your hard work and for the encouragement of your team to pay off. Because in your debut as a Bruin, even before the season started, Nya, you showed out. You showed out. So let's take me to the moment leading up to that first routine as a UCLA Bruin.
Yes, so we talk about a lot about legacy on this team at this school. There's so much amazing, things that have happened before I've gotten here, and we always talk about upholding that standard and how special Polly is, and like how special it is to be on a UCLA team. And I've always seen, the viral routines, and I've seen, so much craft go into these routines. And I'm like, like I want to uphold that legacy. Like I want to be a part of the UCLA legacy. Like I want to be with those people and I want to make a difference. And I want, younger girls who are committed here to be like, you remember Nya Reed, and she's a part of this UCLA legacy and I want to be like her. And that's what I said to myself. Like, I want to be like this woman. Like I do. Like they're so inspirational. They tell stories through their routine. So I was like, people are here to see a show, so let's give them a show, And BJ and my teammates are like, go out there and show it off. Like you have so much fun when you do your routine. Like your routine is you. This is who you are. Like people see you, they see your routine, and they get a glimpse of who you are. And so I was like, let's just go out there, and this is the first time people have seen me in a while, and I'm like, let's make it memorable. Let's have some fun. So.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of nerves for sure were rushing through my head. And I don't even get nervous for floor usually, but a lot of nerves were rushing through my head because I wanted to meet that standard so bad that has been instilled in UCLA. And I feel like I'm happy. I feel like I did it with that one routine, but I feel like there's more, and I'm so excited to continue to do my routine as much as I possibly can and still uphold that legacy for my last couple of routines that I have. And but to be able to have that, viral moment was amazing, and I'm so excited that I got to experience it and I got to, be a part of the legacy. So yeah.
A huge part of the legacy. So you're wearing your Delta Sigma Theta Leo. When did you feel that something special was happening in your routine? Did you know it while you were in it, or was it in response to what people said to you afterwards?
Okay, so creating my leotard, I knew that it would spark the Greek community. Nothing like this has ever been done, and I wanted it to be, one of one. Like, this is something that is going to be hard for anybody to else to do. And so I love to be one of one, and I was
Okay.
I was very excited about that. So I was like, like I know it's going to spark, sparks in the Greek community, so I'm really excited about it. So I was really excited about it. So I definitely expected, a little bit of love and things like
Mm-hmm.
that from that community. But I didn't realize how, big it had gotten until maybe like, I want to say like the next like night. And it was like that morning, I'm like, my
Mm-hmm.
phone is going off crazy. I know we have an off day. Like, so many people are texting me and calling me. They're like, you're everywhere. You're all over the internet. You're all over ESPN, social media. So I was like, okay, like, I've gotten here before. I've been blessed to be able to get here before. So, I'm like very happy for the accolade that I've, received. But then like days and weeks came and I'm like, this video is still booming. Like, it's still doing numbers. Numbers are rising. I mean, celebrities are reaching out. People are reposting things. The Greek community is like, whoa. And I'm like, whoa. Like, I expected, like, I did expect, like love from them for sure. But it was like 10 times what I expected from the Greek community. And then you have like sports, the sports community, then just, regular news. And it's like I'm seeing myself on TikTok, on Instagram. People are asking for interviews. And I'm like, it just was so like heartfelt. And I like, it really, really touched me because I felt so much love. And I feel like in a sports community, you know, being at NCAA like collegiate level, sometimes you don't feel that love all the time from outsiders. You only feel it from your team and your coaches and your family, people who are close to you and really
Mm-hmm.
see how much you put into your craft. But someone on social media, they'll that one little tweet or that one little like post can really be hurtful and like really hurt with someone because it's like I worked so hard to be where I am, to make a name for myself, and like that one little like saying like really hurt me. But to be able to receive that love was like, oh my goodness, like there's so much love in this world, and to be able to be someone that received that much love, I was like, it's so meaningful to me and something that I'm always gonna hold very dear to my heart. So it just I love that moment. I love that I got to live that moment out with some amazing people. So
You
yeah.
know what? It makes me even happier that that moment happened to you as I sit here talking with you and listening to how much you care about your community and being a role model for young girls. It's it's fitting that you would receive such love. And I just congratulate you on that. Now, you mentioned about the sometimes you get negative comments that just hurt, but you received all this love. Speak to the person who is struggling. Maybe they're getting the negative comments, whether it's on social media or in life in general, and they feel discouraged. They feel maybe less than, disappointed. How do you encourage them to keep on going and to be resilient?
I would say, you're always gonna receive backlash. You have worked so hard to be the person you are, to be the athlete you are. You've put in hours and hours of hard work, dedication, grit, fight. And don't let someone you don't know, don't let someone who, doesn't know how much work you've put in, doesn't know how much you care for this sport, tear you down. There's always going to be backlash, always. But look around you, look in real life, look in real time, and look who's around you, look who's supporting you, look who's pouring into you. Like, that is what matters, because they know, they understand, and they see you for real. Like, they see you, they see how much you work and how hard it is. And that means way more than anything that anybody says to you negative on social media, on the internet, on TV. It's an opinion. But if you look around, there's so much real love around you. And receive it, take it in, and let it manifest within yourself, and pour it into someone else with that love that you're receiving. And that's what I would say to them, because it's hard. It's hard. Some people are very, very hurtful. And it's easy for them to say things when they don't know you, when they're hiding behind a screen and things like that. It's very easy for them. But it's hard, to give love sometimes. And it takes vulnerability to give love in real life. So when someone's taking that time to give you the love, you should focus on that as much as you possibly can, because it's always going to stick with you, and it's you always going to remember it. So that's what I say.
Oh, such great advice, Nya. Thank you. My final question for you is, what does living in brilliance mode look like for you?
So for me, I would say it's beating all odds. I feel like when I beat all odds, when all the odds are bet against me, I feel like I go into, this person who's like, I'm unstoppable. I start to accomplish the little things. I start to accomplish the big things. And I don't get complacent. I accomplish one thing and I'm like, what's the next goal? How can I make myself be a person from my community that people are like, I want to be like her. I see how she's so determined and she gets things done and she doesn't stop. I want to be like that. I feel like that's my brilliance mode. I feel like what keeps me going is, I think of little girls, little boys, little black boys, little black girls who aspire to do what we do every single day. And I want to be that role model for them. And when I accomplish something, I'm like, I didn't do it for myself. I don't do this for myself. I do this for my community. I do this for other ethnic communities. I do it for them to be able to feel like they have a spot in this world, for them to have reason and know that they have purpose, and to have them walk in their own their own pathway of greatness. Because in a world full of hate, there's so much love. And I really want to be that role model, because I have my own role models and I applaud them because they keep me going. And I want to be able to keep them going. So when I accomplish something, I'm like, I'm in brilliance mode. Like, this is something special. And I cannot wait for people to see it. I cannot wait for little girls to come up to me and ask me questions. And how do you do this? And, how are you so confident? And things like that. Like, I love those questions. And that, I feel like that is how I feel like that's brilliance mode for me. Yeah.
Thank you. It was beautiful. I love the selflessness of you as a person, and how you're like, I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for those who are watching me.
For sure.
Well, Nya, I'm proud of you, sis.
Thank you.
You are a true overcomer. You got me in tears here.
Thank you.
Just a beautiful example for so many to see. And I'm so happy that you have the platform you do, because we need more people like you up there.
Thank you.
You're a beautiful example of resilience. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks, Kim. That's love.
Thanks for listening. If you want to learn more about Nya Reed, check out our show notes on BrillianceMode.com/podcast. And to connect with UCLA Gymnastics on Instagram, follow them at UCLA Gymnastics. If you've enjoyed this episode of Resilience to Brilliance, please share it with others who may be encouraged by it. And to make sure you don't miss any future episodes, follow or subscribe to the Resilience Brilliance podcast on YouTube and your favorite podcast platforms. You can also follow me on Instagram at RealKimAnthony. Any use of this podcast without the express written consent of Brilliance Mode, LLC is prohibited.